I forgive you, and I'm sorry for all the harassment and bullying that I put you through, along with your friends and everyone else. It's gonna take me a while to own up for what I did, since I need the courage and strength to face the anger and hate I might get along back from people for what I did. I really want to change now. Before I accept your deal, I also want to make a deal with you too. I would like you to show people that you're not just a Mobian or a normal being. Since you have powers, and I want you to show it to people. Some people here and there may also get uncomfortable by the fact that you're not normal, but I know that you're tough and can do it. Fantasy then put the note aside and then whispered to Gala quietly so that the cave doesn't echo much. You're welcome, Gala. They both then sat down quietly next to each other for the next hour. When the hour is up and the bear breached through the cave entrance, roaring at the girls with its head sticking in and about to bring his whole body in. The girls had an extremely scared look on their face, but Fantasy went with her plan to knock the bear out and have time to escape. She used her telekinesis to grab a hold of the rock that's a bit bigger than the bear's head. She hovered it over his head and slammed it down a bit, but holding back to make sure that she doesn't kill the animal accidentally. The bear then got knocked out and plummeted chin first to the floor. She then grabbed a hold of Gala's hand and teleported them both outside of the cave entrance from where the rest of the bear's body is laying. The girls then laughed for a good few seconds and then hugged each other for a bit. They both then heard sirens of police and ambulances heading to where they are and stopped in their tracks in front of them. They both were interviewed by the police and told them the whole situation along with the paramedics checking them out. Luckily, nobody was arrested or sent to the hospital, but the nature people had, along with some of the cops and wildlife hunters, had to pull the knocked out bear out of the cave entrance and confirm that he's still alive and breathing. However, the bear does have a concussion from the blow from the big rock. A limousine came by and picked up Gala with her butler, opening the back door for her to sit in. Before she left, Gala then said goodbye to Fantasy. Well, this is a see you later for now, Hedgehog. I hope to see you around and maybe later on. Hopefully we can become friends and get to know each other as friends. The same goes back for you too, Gala. I feel like that we will cross paths again one day in person, but on neutral or good terms too. The girls then shared a laugh together after shaking hands. Gala then waved goodbye to Fantasy as she walked to her limo and entered it. Fantasy then waved back to her as they drove off and out of the forest. After Gala and her butler drove off, Fantasy heard a familiar voice calling for her, and when she saw her Auntie Sally Acorn looking for her as she looked for her to her right, they both then saw each other 2 yards away and ran to each other in their arms with tears in their eyes, with relief and happiness on their faces as they hugged each other tightly. They did talk to each other while still hugging one another. How did you find me, Auntie? I heard the forest ranger radio station saying that they just found the dangerous grizzly bear trying to get inside a cave with 2 girls trapped inside of it. I was so worried and scared that you ran away or got kidnapped or worse. What matters to me the most is that I'm very happy to see you and that you're still alive, Fantasy. They both then hugged each other more, and Fantasy replied to her while some tears are still shedding. I'm alright, Auntie. I just went out for a walk since I felt like you hated me and you don't want me as your adopted niece anymore, she said as through tears of worry. Sally then also replied to her while holding her into her arms and told her, Fantasy, I will never do that to you ever in my whole entire life. You mean the whole world and universe to me since I laid my eyes on you and told myself that this kid that looks like Sonic will be my kid and I'll take care of her no matter what. I also got good news from the high school that you're unexpelled, but you will have a in-school suspension for a week. Then, when you get back from spring break, however, Gala will be expelled instead, and will have to face some serious consequences for her. Fantasy then got happy and excited while still shedding some tears, but is also a bit worried about Gala now. Sally then wiped her tears off from her face, then told her this as they both then began to walk back to her car while holding each other's hands. Come on, Fantasy. Let's head back to the castle, get you a shower, and a new set of clothes for tonight. Get some sleep, and in the morning, you'll get breakfast and talk about this journey together over breakfast and find something fun to do before one of my meetings. How does that sound, my little acorn? Fantasy then giggled out of nervousness and her embarrassment while Sally smiled and chuckled a bit. Auntie! I was a child when you used to call me that. I'm not a little kid anymore. I know, but I'm just doing it out of teasing as a parent or guardian to cheer you up a bit, my little acorn.